there, welcome. It's Trajan Wealth of Trajan Wealth, featuring this guy, Jeff Jr. We're here in the, do we call this the bullpen of Trajan Wealth?
The bullpen? Sure, we can call it that.
Well, what would you call it, anything?
Where we make magic happen.
Okay, this is where the magic happens. We got people back. Look at you guys back here on the phone. So wave and say hello. Wave and say hello. There you go. See, we got nice people working. They're doing their jobs. They're making folks money.
That's right.
Making people happy. That's what you do at Trajan Wealth, making people happy. All right. One of the things that it would make us happy is if you would subscribe, hit that subscribe button, the notification button, go to TrajanWealth.com and TrajanEstate.com. So, a lot of people like to look back. Mm-hmm. And now some people don't, and those ones, I think that's a mistake. I think you look back, you learn from your mistakes. Right. It's a good thing.
Yep, that's right.
I'm guessing that when you were in your 20s and 30s, I could ask a lot of people, what stupid thing did you do with money? And I'm guessing Jeff's not in that club.
Oh, I made some dumb mistakes with money. I think everybody makes dumb mistakes.
Yeah, what
did
you dumb?
Let's see. I think I bought a house way too early.
Okay.
I think I was just too premature with
what makes you decide? What makes you think that you weren't ready for it? You didn't have enough money?
Financially, I wasn't ready for it, and I really had to work. And I was in this business. I was brand new as a financial advisor. Bought a house, and I just wasn't ready. So it put a lot of unnecessary pressure.
Okay.
I think looking back, it was a good thing, but at that point, I was really stressed out, and it was just. Because everybody tells you, buy a house, right? And I just wasn't ready at that point. So that was a big mistake.
That's a good thing. When do you know when you're ready to buy a house?
Yeah, I don't know when you're ready. I look at that too. Like, it's kind of like, when are you ready to have a kid?
Right.
When is the perfect time to have a kid? Is there really ever a perfect time to have a kid? Same thing there. So, but looking back, I think it was a good thing. But at that point, it really put a lot of pressure on me.
Mm-hmm. My daughter is 20, and she's just got a new house with her new husband, and it's tough. And we don't have any money. It's like, sure, that's called your 20s. It's supposed to be that way.
We had to eat at home every night, and we couldn't go out, and we didn't have money to do this, didn't have any money to do that. We had a brand new baby at that point, so. It was one of those things.
It does get better for most people from your 20s. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what do you think are the top 3 money mistakes people make when they're young? And what can people learn from it as they get older?
Well, let's see, 3. So I think the first one...
Okay, if you can't do 3...
I'd say the first one is just not saving soon enough. Everybody says, I'll get around to it, I'll get around to it, I'll get to it, I'll get to it, I'll get to it. And then they start saving in their 401k at work because that's what's available.
Right.
And then they just invest what the company matches, or they put money into the 401k, but then there's nothing outside of that 401k.
That's not enough?
That's definitely not enough. Just like Social Security, a lot of people just depend on Social Security, and Social Security is really designed to only provide approximately a third of what you need in your retirement, if that. So I think the biggest mistake that people make is just not getting around to it soon enough. And what I would say to that too is you'll never have enough money. I mean, there's rarely going to be a point in anyone's life ever where you're going to sit back and say, okay, I've got enough money.
Right.
I'm making too much. Now I have some discretionary money that I can invest. It's really putting away small amounts of money over a period of time, which adds up much more quickly than putting away a large amount of money towards your retirement. A lot of people don't start saving until they get in their 50s. That's very common, and that's because you see, well, shoot, I'm not going to be able to continue working forever, so I need to start saving. So if you did that in your 20s, hey, that's great.
Right. Mm-hmm. Is there a formula to go, okay, you should do this amount or this percentage when you're that young? Because I'm having my daughter watch this right now. Mm-hmm. This is perfect for young people. Mm-hmm. What should they start with?
I don't know there's a formula, but just have a...
Because I remember we talked about this with your son. You did this with your son.
We did, yeah. I mean, start with an amount. It doesn't matter what that amount is. Because when you start getting into formulas, then it puts unnecessary pressure on you to always do that. And then if you're making too big of a commitment, you stop entirely. Mm-hmm. So if you just do a small amount, $5 a week, $5 a month, whatever it is, just put a small amount away. And then once you start seeing the fruits of your labor, then you're going to naturally increase it without all that undue pressure on yourself.
And especially when you get started, it's going to look like it's never going to amount to anything, right? Because you're just doing a little bit.
Just do a little bit. My dad, I remember I had a piggy bank when I was young, and I always used to cash out the piggy bank. I worked in a bank. My dad worked in a bank, so I always used to cash out the piggy bank. And my dad said, always leave some money behind. It's seed money. So you leave a little bit of change in that piggy bank, and then it's not so hard putting that next quarter in there. But if you have an empty piggy bank, how hard is it to put that first quarter in that piggy bank? It's pretty challenging.
Yeah.
Because that's the first quarter. You just tend not to do it. So just start small, whatever it is, and it doesn't matter where you put it, whether it's a savings account or an investment, but start small and start soon.
So looking back, is there any moment in time you wish you could go back to, one moment, and say, Jeff, do it this way, bud?
I think there's hundreds of moments. Yeah, there's hundreds of moments.
Anything off the top of your head?
Well, when I started as a financial advisor, it was very challenging. This business is very challenging to get started in. I was a very young man. I exited the Marine Corps when I was 21 years old. I was in when I was 17, got out when I was 21.
I mean, you look young now. You probably look like you were 12.
I did shave.
Did you?
I did shave. Yeah. But starting in this business was very challenging. But yeah, there's a lot of mistakes. I don't know if I can pick one.
You don't have one?
One mistake that I made?
One that you would go back and say, Jeff,
just don't do that?
Yeah, or do that.
No.
No? Okay. I got a good one.
All right.
Really, really quick. I'll try to tell a story fast. Maybe I've told you before, maybe not. So I was working at this radio station, and this guy liked some of my material. And so he had this thing called a bulletin board. Do you remember bulletin boards in the computer?
Yeah.
You do remember that?
Yeah.
Have I told you this story? Okay.
You haven't said.
Okay, so he's had a bulletin board, and it was back when the internet. This was before the internet. It's really slow websites, is what it was. And he wanted me to put my material on his little bulletin board thing. And I would do it, and it was slow. It would take like an hour to upload something. So I didn't want to do it. So I called him up, Mark, I don't want to do it. Come down to my office. I go to his office. It's a closet. It's literally a closet in a lawyer's office. Rusty, please, I'm telling you, this is going to take off. Mark, I don't want to do it anymore. Rusty, I'll give you stock in my company. Mark Cuban, what am I going to do with stock in your little company?
Right. Really?
Mark Cuban. My message, Rusty, when Mark Cuban asks you to do something, you just do it. You upload that stuff up. Yeah, he sold that for $1 billion.
Yeah, interesting.
$1 billion. So that's a little thing.
Now look at you.
Now look at me.
Now look at you. Where you're at.
I don't have $1 billion.
Or a regret.
I don't have 10 million. Hey, we all wish we could get in that DeLorean and hit 88 miles an hour and go back just for a couple of minutes. So, any other advice for young people to get that started? I mean, would you call Trajan Wealth in their 20s?
It depends on if they, if they contact a financial advisor. Oftentimes, when they're just starting out, it might be devoid of value.
Okay.
So financial advisors, we're in the business to help people, but also at the same time, we're earning a revenue. We're earning money. So if we work with somebody who we feel can do it themselves, we'll let you know that you can do it yourself. So if they're in their early 20s and they don't have anything amassed at this point, they just don't need to hire a financial advisor.
Then you'll probably say, hey, wait until you get this and then come back, right?
I mean, whether that be Trajan Wealth or anybody, you just don't need a financial advisor at that point. And really what I'd recommend to people that are just getting started is to open up a Roth. A Roth is a great account because it's all tax-free. The money that you put in there, it's not tax deductible. Being in your early 20s, you probably don't need tax deduction because your income probably isn't that high.
Okay.
But when you invest into a Roth, it's really earmarked for retirement, which is a good thing. Now you have a goal for retirement. Now you can't touch it until you're 59 and a half. But when you go to pull it out for your retirement, it's all tax-free. So since you're starting in your 20s and you have all of that time to accumulate, there's a great opportunity for you to have hundreds of thousands, possibly even millions of dollars, all tax-free when you go to retire, all because you started a Roth young.
Is that easy to do, to start a Roth?
Very easy. Yeah. Very easy. You can contact TD Ameritrade is a great organization, and they custody your assets. And you can literally open up an ETF or a mutual fund, and you can invest $50 or $100 a month in it, and start the saving. It's all about, so the best advice I can give to somebody who's young that's just getting started is just start. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what the amount is, whether it's $1, $5. I see everybody going to Starbucks. Look at the line at every Starbucks that you drive past. It's crazy. But then you ask those same people, are you investing for your retirement? And they say, I'm not rich or I don't have enough money. $5 is enough to get started.
Okay. great advice. And to find out more and see if you're financial advisor ready, or if what to do to get ready, go to TrajanWealth.com and see if you can talk to one of Jeff's advisors, one of his team members, because these people are experts in this field, and they're the ones that are really going to help you find what it is that you need for you. Right? Good way to put that.
Right. That's right.
Go to TrajanWealth.com, if you would please, TrajanWealth.com. Also, if you would please hit that subscribe button right now. Don't forget it, because you don't want to miss any of the upcoming Build Your Wealth with Trajan Wealth. And until next time, I'm Rusty Humphries. That guy there is Jeff Jr., and this is Build Your Wealth with Trajan Wealth, featuring Jeff Jr.
Investment advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor.